Okay, so today I'm going to be going through a bit of a review of my Adventure Kings awning here. Had it on the car for a while. I've had the Tigers 11 one before this and it was great. We'll go through a few good points, a few bad points with it, and then you can make up your own mind at the end. Now this one here is the 2 by 3 meter awning. You can get ones longer. I personally don't like the ones that stick out the front of the car. I find it looks a bit odd and unbalanced for me, but that's up to you, your choice. So let's get it set up and then we'll talk a bit about it. So as you can see, that didn't take very long to put up, 1:49 seconds. Granted, I haven't tied on the tie downs to the pegs with the ropes, which I would recommend you do. I have seen these fold backwards over the car and destroy themselves. So if you're leaving them up for any period of time or in a windy environment, make sure you tie them down. Now, they do have an adjustable leg here, which I've pulled out. They do have an adjustable leg at full height. Now I'm on a slope here. My car's got a lift in it, and one thing that I have noticed is that even at full height, sometimes the water won't run off the top and it will pull here and sit down like that. So if you're leaving it up overnight, you need to keep an eye on that. What I normally do is I drop one leg down like this so that all the water flows here and the water flows off the side. Now in doing this, because I have a lift on my car, it puts quite a bit of stress on the aluminium bracketing here. Up here, you can see here, it bends the aluminium downwards. It doesn't seem to be a problem, but just beware that if you're putting this on a lifted vehicle, the legs aren't quite long enough. We're on a slightly sloping uphill here. So that's two things to keep in mind. Okay, so this King's awning, and I looked around at a lot of other awnings before buying this one, and based on the price and what I looked at shows, I decided to go with this one because it was a heck of a lot cheaper. Now it's made of the ripstop nylon, and in looking at the shows around at some of the other awnings and that, the ripstop nylon looked exactly the same, felt exactly the same, and repelled water exactly the same as most of the other more expensive brands out there. So based on price, I would recommend this awning because it compared with the other ones, and I'm guessing they're going to have the same issues with the bending down as this one does. Now it's got the Velcro tabs all the way along the side here to hold it tight out and keep it out, and it does. You can also buy a side awning to go on, and I'll review that in a later video. As I said, today it's not windy, so I haven't pegged this down, but I do recommend, I have used ropes off this down to water bottles and things. Strongly recommend. The wind will pick it up and just blow it away in a heartbeat if you're not careful, if you're not watching. Even if you're sitting there for lunch, I'd recommend tying it down to a chair. It will destroy it. Now these poles, they slide, they work really pretty good for a cheap one. Other things to look at, all your knuckles here, they're all cast aluminium, so decent for what is being made. Overall, the awning does what you want, because most of the time you're going to be out camping and you're just going to put it up for a little bit, not a long period of time. So for the money, great value for money. Since I've had this awning, I have had no problem with water leaking through the canvas, except when it pulled here, it got quite heavy on the end, as I mentioned before. Once you drop that leg, the water runs off easy. It's great shade underneath. Used it in a lot of hot environments where the sun's beating down, you just want to get out of that sun. So side of the road, want to pull up and have lunch or something like that. Would recommend it. Value for money. For the price, if it breaks, throw it away and buy another one. It's cheap. So yeah, Now I'm going to pack it up. You will see it takes a little bit longer to pack it up than it does to set up, but still not that long. It has these great little straps here with the Velcro that hold the awning firmly in place on the side of the vehicle. There's 3 of them down the length. Cords for tie down tucked up in here under the bag. It's where they come from factory. They sit in there beautifully. I haven't been game to put the pegs in there because I'm worried the pegs are going to puncture the bag. But once it's all zipped up, it all sits there nice and tight on the edge of the vehicle.